Peace, y'all. What's up? I'm bringing y'all another video. Today, I just want to talk about psychological warfare, spiritual warfare. Let's talk about something that's going on out here that we could all relate to and are all affecting us in some way. So I want to start off with these lyrics. It's by King Los. The song is called "War." Because it's a war going on outside on the corner. It's a war on your TV screen every morning. Not the war with the bombs and the helicopters swarming, but the war for your soul. That's what everyone's ignoring. There's a war going on. So, that's what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the war that's going on out here. It's not a war, a physical war. It's not anything that, that is easily recognizable. But it's a psychological war. It's a subconscious war. It's a psychological war. You gotta realize what's going on out here. A lot of these people out here are just socially programmed people. They're not even really people. They're just zombies. They're just following, what everybody else is doing. They're working their job, working their 9 to 5, going home, spending 3 hours with their kids every day, and then they're 60, they retire, they got no money to do anything, and then that's their life. That's what generations past have gone through, and our generation, the young generation, we don't stand for that anymore, and old people don't understand that. Don't you hate when you go to family functions? What are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do with that? Oh, that's unpractical. Oh, you need to have a job. You need to go to college for something that you can make money for. Blah, 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 blah. But it's not about the money. People don't realize that. It's about you and you being happy, you being fulfilled. And whatever makes you fulfilled and whatever makes you happy is something that you could turn into something, turn into a career, something that you could make money from. And, you're providing value. You're providing value and you're going to get value back. That's what money is, a system of value. Money's not anything to be afraid of. You're afraid of money, you're going to push it away. And I'm not afraid of money because, really, there's tons of ways to make money now. People always complaining that they're broke and they have no money, but, we have the internet here. There's a million ways to make money now. It's so easy to make money. You can make money doing anything. You could go to the thrift store and you could resell stuff on eBay. You go to garage sales. You can do. There's so many things that you could do to make money that people just don't understand. So besides that, I got a little off track. Talk about this warfare that's going on. Talk about it's a war on the TV screen every morning. Let's talk about the TV. Let's talk about the news. You pay attention to that. There's all sorts of program going on there. About the government, especially it's Capricorn season right now. All you're hearing about is Trump and the wall and the government shutdown. If the government shut down, why is it still running? Just saying. I mean, a partial shutdown, but it's still going. Politics are nothing but politics. They're nothing but entertainment. Politics are just entertainment, especially with Donald Trump in the White House right now. Really making you pay attention to politics because that's what Donald Trump is. He's an entertainer, so you gotta see through that. But you can't take the stuff seriously, and of course it is serious to some degree. But you gotta realize that in order to change the world, it ain't gonna happen through the government. The government knows this, and that's why Donald Trump's in office right now. The government knows that this ain't gonna fly. They know that the people are waking up, and the government is the one that's going against source. They're the ones who are trying to stay down here in 3D. All of us who are waking up want to go transcend that 3D, and we want to create our own world, our own utopia. Not our utopia, because you know what I mean. But we want to create our own country. We want to create our own values. We want to have a new place with higher values, and we know that this government ain't it. But at the same time, you got to know that the government, everything going on outside of you is just a manifestation of what's going on inside of all of us. So that's why everything's going on out here. You got to realize that you know it's an internal battle. It's an internal struggle for us. And it's not even a battle, but you know what I mean. Everything outside of us is just a reflection of what's inside of us. And collectively, if you look at what's going on, you would see where we're at. That's how it goes. Stop paying attention to the news. I mean, of course, it's okay to look every once in a while, just to see what's going on. I don't actively seek it out, but if something pops up, I'm gonna read it just because I like to have some idea of what's going on. Although I'm not entirely bought into those ideas, and but that the government is going against source right now. They're trying to keep everyone down here in 3D. Actually, let me look up. If I remember correctly, the etymology of government is to control the mind or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's to control the mind or control something. Let me see. Government. Let's see. Control, direction, administration. To steer, to command, to direct, to rule, to guide. So maybe I saw it somewhere else. I forget where I seen that. But the government is here for a reason, and they know that this is at the end of its life cycle. They know that starting 2020, it's not going to be the same things that you're seeing now. And into the next 10 years, the next 5 years, things are going to start going on. There's going to be wars going on. Things are going to start going on. There's going to be a little bit of chaos. But you just know that internally stay at peace and keep ascending higher and keep striving for the high ideals, because we are the people who are going to lead in the next future, into the next generation. We are the people who are going to take over this next generation. All of the generations before have these old ideals and these old ways of thinking, and our generation, not all of us, but largely our generation, we are a little bit more aware, and we have a little bit different ideals. So talk about that. The next thing we'll talk about is marijuana and how that's being pushed out. 20 years ago, marijuana was highly illegal. Schedule 1. It's still illegal, but it ain't really that illegal anymore. Let's be real here. The marijuana that's being put out. I forget. Daylight. I saw a video with Daylight talking about people who smoke dabs, which is basically, if you don't know what dabs are, it's like concentrated THC. It's like wax, and you use like a blowtorch and like a bong, basically, a blowtorch and a bong, and that's how you smoke it. And he was talking about how in the 70s and the 80s, the 70s and 80s, people were smoking crack regularly, and the late 80s, early 90s, people became crackheads. So the same thing's going to happen with dabs and weed. People are smoking dabs, and that's actually stuff that's highly addictive because it's so high in THC. It alters your brain. It makes your brain want more THC. But in the next 7 years or so, 2025, people are going to be dab heads. People are going to be addicted to weed and be dependent on weed. It's already becoming normalized, and that's the goal of the government. Keep us distracted with weed. It gets all high. Even Marlboro, the cigarette company, the tobacco company, they've bought in a giant weed plantation. And, you know, that means probably in the future we're going to have weed cigarettes that are going to be sold in stores and stuff, you know, and that's the stuff you don't want to smoke, okay? You know, the herb is very important. It's a spiritual plant, you know. It's something that, you know, you should partake in. But you have to watch out where you're getting it from. If it's modified, you know, because the herb that we're getting here in the United States, it's all genetically modified. It's all sprayed with pesticides. And, you know, that stuff is genetically modifying your DNA. It's changing your gene expression. You know, even they have green crack. Green crack. What do you think green crack has in it, or on it, or inside of it? Crack, okay? It's called that for a reason. So, you know, you just need to be aware of these things. You know, I've smoked weed a lot, especially the past like 6, 7, 8 months. But now I'm a little bit on a break right now. Just because, you know, it starts to cloud up your head a little bit. And I don't care what nobody says. You know, maybe I could be wrong here, but for me, I became psychologically dependent on it. And then I kept starting to have bad experiences on it. So, you know, that was a sign for me to, you know, calm it down a little bit. You know, my ears ring loud when I smoke weed. And my hearing is very sensitive when I smoke weed. So, you know, just be aware about this marijuana that's being pushed. Becoming normalized for a reason. It's to be there to distract us, for all us to be high. You know, and the weed that's going to be pushed out is not the good stuff. It's not the stuff that is beneficial to us. You know, you go to Jamaica and you go into the Blue Mountains, all those, you know, the Rastas and all the people out there who are smoking that weed, they're growing their weed themselves in the mountains, and it don't look nothing like our weed, but that's the stuff you want to be smoking. You want to be still smoking that kind of stuff, and you want to be smoking from like a chalice or something that you could vaporize it, because obviously it's not good to inhale smoke for any reason. I mean, of course we do it. I'm gonna have my grinder right here, but you know, just be aware of this you know, marijuana legalization, and I predict, you know, next couple of years, you know, I think we all can predict that it's gonna be illegal across the United States. Donald Trump is already, you know, he wants to make it legal apparently, and you know, you start to see what that is. Let's talk about social engineering, and you know, I was talking about how people are socially engineered. You know, people are influenced by the music they listen to, the TV they watch, the movies they watch, you know, the news they see, and then they get influenced by everybody else who has their own beliefs and own social programming. You know, the music and stuff. We're talking about the music because I'm big into music. You know, bands like the Grateful Dead. Shout out to Universal Frequencies for putting this information out. Bands like the Grateful Dead, the Beatles. You know, those type of bands who promoted peace and stuff like that. You know, those they may not have been meaning to, but they were pushing an agenda. You know, peace. You know, I don't see color. I don't do any of this type of stuff. You know, yeah, man, it's just peace and love, man, and you know, I don't see color and this type of stuff, and you know, yeah, I trip on acid all day, and yeah, man, you know, and that's not what we want to be doing out here. We don't want to be doing that. That ain't spiritual at all. That ain't, you know, hippies are not spiritual people. I mean, I can't say that, but you know, that's not being spiritual. That's just an agenda that was pushed back in the 70s and the 80s. The hippie culture, and you know, they're basically not doing anything. You know, they saw all these problems, and they were just peace, man, peace and love, man. Which we all want peace and love. But at the same time, you gotta take action against these things. You have to do some work, even inside yourself, for things to change. You can't just sit there and, trip out all day and expect things to be peace and love all the time. And, that's what these bands were pushing out. And then you got people like Bob Marley out here who promoted the same things. But, if, that's like the Legend album from Bob Marley, right? That's his most famous album, which is his compilation album of all his best songs. Notice on there, none of his most political songs are on there. All the songs are the songs that, us white people go on vacation and listen to. Three Little Birds, Jammin'. But, no white people know about, or no people in general, not white people, I don't mean to say that. But no people know about, the Survival album, Uprising. The Survival album, really, it's a political album, with all the countries of Africa on there. Top ranking. They don't want to see us live together. All they want us to do is keep on fussing in a fight, and they don't want to see us unite. And he, wow, these dogs scared the shit out of me. But he, Bob Marley was against the system. Even in the song, Rat Race. He said that the Rastas don't work for the CIA, and apparently there was a story that he was approached by the CIA to calm down his lyrics a little bit, and he said no. So Bob was a true legend, man. Bob was a true legend, and his spirit lives on forever. And yeah, man, Bob really has inspired me to take action and push forward for equal rights. I'm gonna read the Haile Selassie quote. Let's see, into his UN speech. This. Let's see. That until the philosophy which one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned, and until there are no longer first and second class citizens of any nation, that until the colors of a man's skin is no more significance than the color of his eyes, that until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all with regard to race, that until that day, the dream of lasting peace and world citizenship and the rule of international neutrality will remain but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. So